If you struggle with understanding mastering, this video is for you. I'm going to break down mastering in a simple way as a music producer, whether it's for your beats or for the entire song. So we're not going to get into the minutia of minutia, but just the what do you need to know to get a decent sound. Let's hop straight into it. The first thing is with mastering, it is about the plugins. I know people tell you you could get away with stock plugins. Maybe they're using Logic Pro or Pro Tools, but if you're not in Pro Tools or Logic Pro, the stock plugins are not the same. Firstly, let's just listen to this track. This isn't a completed track, but it does have vocals on it.
Bye bye. 300. I say I'm cheap, so baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white. I'm a rock star, baby, keep the jungle beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. I say I'm cheap, so baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white. I'm a rock star, baby, keep the jungle beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me.
All right, so now that we heard the raw mix, basically what we want to maintain is the movement. So as a beginner, when you listen to your beats and mixes, you'll have a lot of movement. And when you learn too much, like mastering and mixing, you'll stop creating that movement. So the first thing you need to understand when mastering is to maintain the movement. And what I mean by that is, for more advanced folks, is to maintain transient information. Anything that's pointy in your audio is a good thing most of the time. Okay, so in vocals, you might not have them as pointy, but drums are very pointy, rhythmic stuff, percussion is very pointy. Our ear needs this pointiness so that we understand the rest of the track. Okay, so the first thing we want to do in the mastering is take out any resonance. So right here, we're actually clipping. So the first thing we're going to do is pull back the mix, so we're not clipping past zero.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with the.
So now we have two things that we're focusing on. It looks like a lot of tracks, but really we have the beat mix and we have the vocal mix, I'll say. Okay, so we're just trying to turn one up and one down. We want intensity from the beat, but we also want the vocal to be loud enough with the beat. So there's a balancing act with just these two elements.
Chief Sosa, baby.
And we're trying not to clip on the master channel here.
Chief Sosa,
clipping means going past this zero here.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me.
So let's pull these back. I'm hitting Control Shift to highlight these, and then we're gonna pull the faders down.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white. I'm a rock star, baby, keep the jungle.
So now the goal is to balance the track to where you hear the movement, but without it being super loud.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with
so again, the hi-hat, the kick, and the snare are the kings of that movement in this case.
Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with.
Okay, so now we're at -3. The main thing about leaving what's called headroom is like space on a computer. If you don't have any space on your computer, you can't do much of anything. It can't process anything. So when it comes to mastering, we need about 3 dB of space, I'll call it. Okay, think of it like memory on a computer. We just need space to add more effects, because when I add an EQ, it might go to from -3 to -2, or if I add a compressor, it might go from -3 to -1. So it's gonna eat up that space. So the first thing I like to do is get rid of any resonances. Now, this song does not have a bunch of resonances in it. But you want to find any annoying spots in your song. Again, this song does not have it. I think people overly focus on this step. They try to seek out every little tiny thing. But really, there aren't enough buildups. Usually it's in the bass, if anything. But I don't hear anything that's annoying. Okay, so this is a corrective stage. Again, I don't hear anything. If anything, we could switch this to what's called a side. So let's add this drop down. Let's go to the side image. The side is the difference between your left and your right. Whenever sound plays equally on the left and equally on the right, it actually sounds centered. So the side is the difference between your left ear and your right ear. And that's what creates width.
I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white. I'm a rock star, baby, keep the jungle beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me.
Now we're gonna listen to the stereo side. Most of the time, the stereo side has a lot of information people don't pay attention to, like delays, reverbs, wide vocals, just things you forgot that were in the mix, and they could be cluttering up the mix because you don't even realize they're there. So what I recommend is just sweep through and just listen to stuff and be like, oh, I didn't know the bass was stereo. So again, this song doesn't have anything that's offending. So for that case, there's nothing to do here. Don't overly think you have to do stuff. The next step is dynamic. So here's where we determine the movement of the track. I learned about this next plugin from Mixbus TV. I have probably a whole different technique than him, but this is a specific plugin for this type of movement. So what I'm going to do is put this on a parallel compressed mode called UL. Okay. And this is unlinked dynamics, it says. So basically what I'm going to listen for is I'll do normal compression, and then I'll show you guys the difference between parallel. So again, without boring you guys to tears about what compression does, just move this threshold knob up and down. So right now it's taking out the energy of that kick. I'll exaggerate it. So this is the same effect like EDM DJs have when their kick hits and the whole track goes down in volume. It's the same exact thing here. So I'm exaggerating this to teach you guys. So you hear the movement it creates. It's a poof, 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 and it brings the volume back. Let me turn it up for you guys. So that's called regular compression. What I want to use here is parallel compression. So instead of taking the entire song and pulling the volume down, I'll duplicate something, and then I'll have one regular and then one goes down. So we perceive dynamic because something is moving, but we don't actually turn the entire song down. So that's what parallel compression is going to help us do. And we can determine which thing moves the entire track. In this case, the kick is the movement of the track. Now we can ease up on what's called the threshold, so it's not so aggressive. With 300 and I stretch out your white. I'm the rock star, baby. They also have a soft clip mode here. I haven't really messed with this to get any results, but you guys can mess with that. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white. I'm the rock star, baby. But my favorite mode is called parallel UL. It just creates a different movement in the upper mids. Also, I'm going to turn the gain back to 0. And now let's mess with that threshold. This is one of those things again where it's about the concept, but it's really about the plugin. The plugin does the work. It's not really just the concept. I'm going to exaggerate this. Let's do one before and then one after. Here's before. Baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white. I'm a rock star, baby, keep the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. Here's with. Baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white. I'm a rock star, baby, keep the drum beside me. So that dynamic is important for the movement. I'm going to pull it back so it's not 5 to 10 dB pulled out, but even 3 dB of just small movements, it latches onto the ear and the ear recognizes the difference. So this is something that took me a while to understand, is this understanding movement in your track. Your track needs movement. So it's very subtle. Okay, next, let's talk about saturation. I used to use FabFilter Saturn II, but now I'm a fan of Spectre because Spectre does not just EQ. It looks like an EQ, but what it actually does is it adds frequencies. Saturation adds frequencies to your track. It doesn't just shape frequencies, it adds frequencies. It adds literally new information. Okay, so what we could do is adjust in this case, it's an EQ and a saturation at the same time. So normally I would have saturation and then EQ. Because this is both in one, I love this plugin. So what we're going to do is just balance out the low mids. Usually that's where the song lacks density. And then we can also tackle the low lows so that we hear that sub bass and then the high highs. So that's usually what I target. Now also when I'm going to target those low lows, or excuse me, the low mids, we could switch this from stereo, meaning it affects both left, right, and center. and let's just make it the side. So it's only affecting the difference between the left and the right. And I'm copying a concept from the SSL Fusion, which is it has a depth knob. So this is kind of the same concept. And let me just turn this up to exaggerate. So listen to how the track feels warm all of a sudden. So we're boosting the difference in our left and right in this frequency range, and we're also adding frequencies to the side. Feels like more people are in the room. So I'll boost this. And then let's boost the really low lows because our ear can't really perceive lows. So what we can do is saturate the low lows to create higher frequency information, and that will help us hear. So again, this is not just an EQ, it's an EQ plus saturator. So let's add this in. Now you can feel that kick. The reason I'm not boosting it 4 dB is because we're gonna later go back and add a limiter. So I'm gonna boost it very small amounts here. And next, let's boost those high highs. You wanna be careful not to boost so much high because it could just become too sharp. Like right here, it's Chief Salsa, that S, and those hi-hats are too sharp. So let's target, you know, anything above 10K really. There's no set number, we need a number that's higher than where we were before. So 15K is a nice spot. Pull this back a little bit. So just to show you where we started from, here's before anything. Let's turn the plugins on. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, keep the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. Baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. Let's do it before and after. Now, before we'll usually have the most dynamic because that's how we produce. We just feel all the movements, but you have to sacrifice some of that dynamic for loudness. Okay, so let's hear before. Baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, keep the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. I say I'm Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. Alright, now let's turn the plugins on. 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, keep the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. I say I'm Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another. So now the track feels like it's wrapping itself around us because we have the super lows now perceived as that thump, and then we have those low mids on the sides just kind of engulfing the entire track. Okay, so now we have those taken care of. It's really about loudness at this point, and loudness, it depends on the plugins you guys have. We're just going to use FabFilter Pro L2 to keep this really, really simple. And you just want to find one good limiter. This is like a solid limiter. Okay, so let's mess with I like it on all around mode, and then we're just gonna boost a little bit. Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, keep the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another. Now, you guys may see me boosting volume into this limiter and you're realizing it's taking out volume. So we can avoid limiters and compressors taking out volume by adding what's called another layer of saturation in this case, because Spectre didn't round off all the transients. It only tackled the things that we focused on. So what if we added a plugin here called Gold Clip? This is my favorite plugin because it adds density to a track. Okay, so let me make sure I log in to my thing real quick. I thought I had to log in. Okay, so let me turn these effects off real quick, guys. Hold on. All right, so this plugin is called Gold Clip, and basically, I believe it models the Lavendier. I forgot the name of it already. The gold converter people were used to talk about. Forgive me for not knowing the name. I don't know why I went blank there. But basically, we can saturate the entire track. We can clip the entire track. So all this pointy stuff that the limiter's struggling with,
Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me.
See where it reduces the volume?
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me.
Because I didn't consistently make the kick near the snares.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with.
Now we could get away with limiting the kick and just kind of like letting it go through like that, but I want more of a scratchy tone. I want to take it from a soft sine wave tone to more of a square tone. And what that means is I want it more saturated of a tone. So let's go to gold clip and let's mess with these saturation knobs.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. I say I'm Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, kick.
So what we've done is instead of making the peaks like go up and down and up and down, now it's more like up, flat, down, up, flat, down. We're just shaving off those really strong peaks because we want the limiter to not have to work as hard. So let me see if I could A/B the difference between gold clip on and off. Let's see how much dB we, let's do before gold clip.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with 300.
All right, so it's taking out 3 dB. Now let's add gold clip and let's see how much we saved as far as the volume reductions in the limiter here.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star.
All right, so we went from 3 dB to half of that, which is 1.6 dB. So that's what I mean by we're giving the limiter less stuff to squish down, basically. That's what a saturator is doing. Now we're sacrificing dynamic, but I'm trying not to get too geeky with you guys because I understand beginners are going to watch this video. So let's just pull this back. Now there is a point where you could push the song too hard into saturation where you just completely make it the saturated thing and it eats up all the detail, because detail is the difference between frequencies. But when you saturate, you're filling in the frequency gaps, almost like when you walk on a sidewalk, you have those little concrete fillers in between each slab of concrete. Okay, so what we're doing with saturation is filling in those gaps. But if all the gaps are filled in to where they match the actual sidewalk, it's just one linear sidewalk. There's no gaps in the sidewalk. We want gaps in the sidewalk so that people can see there's depth in the ground. So what I'm saying here is that if you push your saturation too much, there's no depth, perceived depth.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. I say I'm Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star.
So for this song, and I say this song because it's not every song, the gold clip sounds best for me when I just push into the clipper mode of it and not the saturator, which is usually my favorite. For this song, because it's already there density wise and like saturation wise, we don't want more saturation, which fills in those gaps in between those sidewalks. We just want the clipper to take off the peaks of the audio. So that's why this works for this song, just to push the input levels into clipping, pardon me. All right, so let's see what it sounds like.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another.
Let's do before and after. Here's before.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. I say I'm Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. I say I'm Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with 300.
Now the track could even be pushed even harder. So that's the cool part about these genres, is you could push the track without it being perceived as worse. Now, two more things that I want to cover here is the stereo image. I believe I have a plugin here called, I think I added it, called the SSL Fusion Stereo Image. So I used to have a real SSL Fusion unit, and this plugin sounded so close to the original thing that I was surprised. So this sounds like the actual original. Let's add this in the beginning of the chain. What I try to prevent from teaching, and that's why I saved it for last really, is because people overly use mid-side stereoizers and they end up weakening their song. Okay, so remember I told you guys what makes width is the difference between your left and your right ear. pitch differences, volume differences, timing differences. So when people overly use this on their entire track, they just can't comprehend why they're not getting the track to feel dense. It's because now they're losing the similarities between the left and the right, which create the center. That sounds more complicated than what it is. Basically, what I'm telling you guys to do is not latch onto these tools, okay? I'm gonna show you a couple tools for stereo width. Let's turn these on. Let's also, before the limiter, let's also see, we go from -3. Let's see what it is after.
Baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white.
So we're actually below -3. Okay, so that's what people call gain staging. Most of the time when you're running through processes, you're not gonna be going louder and louder out of your plugins if you pick the right plugins. Okay, so anyway, what was I gonna do? Let's do the stereo imaging here. I'm gonna turn off the limiter for a second here.
Baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white. I'm a rock star, baby.
Like this sounds good when the width is this wide, but we lose that impact.
Baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white. I'm a rock
Here's before.
star, baby. Kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby. Ain't another one like me. I say I'm cheap, baby. Ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white.
And it makes it feel more saturated and more smeary. So you got to be careful with these tools. It does sound good, but there is a sacrifice of clarity. We can also do the opposite, which is to pull it in.
Baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white. I'm a rock star.
But then we lose that brass width.
Baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with
I do like more narrow tracks, but the problem is sometimes it just sounds too hollow because of how mono is perceived. And I think I showed you guys on the Spectre how to create that wide sound, but let's say we didn't have Spectre here. We could also use this function called the space knob, and this is gonna add that boost at like 200 hertz on the side. Let me so. All right, so it's adding that lower frequency, that low mid frequency to the sides. Don't be afraid of low mids. It actually adds that density that we need for something to feel full. So 120 to about 200, that's where you want to find that area to actually boost to become more full. So let's do the sides.
like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white. I'm a rock star, baby. Kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star.
Let's hear before and after. It's very subtle.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white. I'm a rock star, baby. Kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby. Ain't another one like me.
It just adds more detail actually to the sides. It fills in. What this does, in my opinion, is that we're hearing center, left, right. But what this plugin helps you hear is center, left 25%, left 50%, left 75%, left 100%. You hear all the degrees of the in-betweens, and that's why I always love the SSL imager, because it just helped you hear the entire left to right spectrum, not just left, center, right. So that's what it's adding. It's very subtle though. And then we have, let's turn Gold Clip back on.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white.
So some other options real quick just to test is the Isotope Ozone. Let me make room for this here. The Isotope Ozone 11 imager. All right, so this one's really good too, but most people, they try to set the bands here. We're just gonna wide the entire track. But the thing is, okay, here we go. Okay, so not stereoizing, that's different. To widen something, it has to already be stereo. So let's just widen the entire track.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300
Here's mono.
and I stretch out your white.
Feels very thin.
Star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't
So we have to push it to where it gets the width, but without losing the kick and the punch.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby.
Here's before.
I'm a rock star.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to turn off the other plugin. Let's do this again.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star.
Here's after.
Baby, keep the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. I say I'm Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one.
So it's very similar. It just doesn't have that left, like that spectrum of center to right or center to left, in my opinion. But it does fill in some of the gap. If I had to like make a parallel analogy, it's almost like adding reverb to fill in a gap as opposed to adding saturation to fill in a gap for the more advanced folks. That's how I perceive those differences between these two. Okay, nextly, we could add, there's one more plugin that I didn't cover here, which is Isotope Ozone's, and I always forget the name for it. I believe it's in their limiter, their maximizer. So this one is cool because it has a new feature called the upward compression. And this, instead of adding dynamic down, it adds dynamic from the bottom levels upward. It kind of, let's just turn it on.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me.
Let's make sure this is actually, is it on? Is this thing on? Here we go. Let's turn these effects on.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, keep the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. Chief.
So the way I would explain this is it like artificially inflates the volume so that when those things trigger it, it goes down. Instead of the volume already being loud without artificially being loud and being turned down, it's inflating it to be loud and then it turns down to create this dynamic.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, keep the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. I say I'm Chief Sosa.
And this is another form of movement that I like to add to the track. It's not about loudness for me, it's about movement. And you guys could hear that movement at 10 dB. Now I'm exaggerating so you can hear, but I love that movement that it creates.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, keep the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. I say I'm Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, keep the drum beside me.
Now it is a bit more of a smeary kind of movement, but I do like the fact that it adds a little bit more movement. So let's add this in.
Chief Sosa, baby,
I'm not sure what the algorithms do for this part, if it matters at all.
Chief Sosa,
but it also has a soft clip mode in here for like extra grit. But we already clipped the sound in gold clip. But this is a really good clipper because you can put it on high mode and it still sounds super clean. Like you hear it on my vocals. So you could really push this thing.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with the.
This is adding like a powdery finish to the song.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, keep the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. I say I'm Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, keep the drum beside me. I'm a rock star.
See what I did here is I've added a limiter before the limiter. So now we have so much room now. There's not peaking like it used to. And let's turn on that stereorizer.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up.
We're way down here. Now let's see where we were before the maximizer and before gold clip.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't.
So this is taking off two plugins, the maximizer and the gold clip. Look at how now it's clipping.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, keep the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby.
Now the song could be like balanced a little bit better, but that's the power of saturation and understanding this upward compression technique with more clipping as well.
Chief Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me.
Let's turn it back on. Let's look at the limiter. All right, so it's taking out almost 3 dB of the signal right
Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. Sam's cheese, Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star.
See how much density we get without it smashing through the 0 point?
Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me.
And we can get even more with the maximizer.
I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me.
I forgot we had the volume down. Duh. That's actually half the reason why.
Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites.
So the question is, I'm going down in volume, but it sounds louder. So here's before.
Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch
Almost
out
hitting
your
0.
whites. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me.
Let's add the maximizer.
Baby, ain't
Now we're like -2 down, but it still sounds louder.
Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. Sam's cheese, Sosa, baby, ain't
Now, if you really wanted to be super loud, you could push the gain of this. But the way I would do it is do it through a different part of this processing.
Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. Sam's cheese, Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me.
Now, the only critique I have about this master is it's a little sizzly on the sides. But instead of going through this entire mix and redoing the entire thing, I would just be aware of that. Okay, so I will pull back on some of my decisions here. So let's just do it before and after.
Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. Sam's cheese, Sosa, baby, ain't another one.
Now let's turn the mastering on.
I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. Sam's cheese, Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. Sam's cheese, Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. Sam's cheese, Sosa, baby.
So what I did was I went to the saturation stage because I told you guys it felt too sizzly on the side. So I said, okay, where's the saturation stage? It's at Spectre. And I pulled the output back to see if it was just the volume of it. And it seems like it was just the volume of Spectre was just too much. Not necessarily the effect of Spectre.
Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. Sam's cheese, Sosa, baby.
But also we have to keep in mind that side technique we used in the SSL, we also did the same exact thing in Spectre. So we might not need this. So let's turn this side mode off for that range. We might be just doing too much in that specific frequency range.
Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. Sam's cheese, Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. Sam's cheese, Sosa, baby, ain't another one like me. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your whites. I'm a rock star, baby.
Now for this tone, it's so subtle, but Spectre is almost too much volume for what we're doing here. So in that case, I will pull Spectre off and on just to see if my ear likes one or the other. So let's just hear this all the way through with mastering on now.
300. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. 300. Rah, rah, rah. I say I'm cheap, so baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white tee. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. I say I'm cheap, so baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white tee. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me.
So here's where I would balance. Again, it's more so the balance of the mix and the vocal. Here's where I would push the beat into the mastering more because we have the clipping on. I'm going to push the beat to see if we can get more aggression out of it, but then pull back some of the vocals because they feel a little too aggressive on the second half.
I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. I say I'm cheap, so baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white tee. I'm a rock star, baby, keep the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby.
See how we get more kick out of that punch now? Just simply by, or the punch out of the kick, simply by pushing the volume of the entire beat into everything we just created. So this is that fine tuning that you guys could do at the end here.
So baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white tee. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. I say I'm cheap, so baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white tee. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. So baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white tee. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me. I say I'm cheap, so baby, ain't another one like me. Bye bye. I pull up with 300 and I stretch out your white tee. I'm a rock star, baby, kick the drum beside me. I'm a rock star, baby, ain't another one like me.
So like I said, at this point, it's just a balance of the vocals versus the beat mix. Okay, so as I pull back that vocal mix, the beat had more punch and it had more ups and downness, whereas the vocal, if that's higher than the beat, it feels more stagnant because it's all flattened by that compressor on the vocal. So this is more of a finesse at this point, is to get that final dynamic. Hopefully you guys learned a lot. If you want to learn more, look at the mixing fundamentals at busyworksbeats.com/premium. You can sign up today for $4 for your first month. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/premium. Peace out, guys. Subscribe if you're new. Share with a friend. Peace.